Well, we're learning more all the time. I think the most important thing to understand about this awful murder is that it's not just it appears to be the political assassination of an MP, but it is something that affects all of us in the United Kingdom because it is an attack on our liberal democracy, we believe, by an Islamist terrorist. And it's not simply, this sounds harsh, but it's not simply up to MPs to determine their own security. They may not be the best judge of their own security. This is a national debate that we now have to have, bearing in mind the sort of country that we have now become, where there is huge amounts of violence in many different walks of life, but where it is directed at our democracy, it becomes a very serious matter of national security. And I think the second thing to note is a lot of people will be saying that if the allegations that are being made are correct and that the alleged perpetrator was known to at least part of the security community, why was Sir David not told when this man arranged an appointment with him that there might be a security problem? And that is, for me, where this issue is now going, because we're told that the alleged perpetrator was identified by somebody as having Islamist, extremist and violent thoughts, and that he was referred under the so-called PREVENT program, which is meant to prevent this kind of thing from happening, to something called the Channel program, where people work with those who are considered vulnerable in order to deter them from extremism. Now, that information is at present not passed on to the security service MI5. That's why when this alleged perpetrator first did his foul act, the cop said, "We've never heard of this chap. We don't know whether it was terror or not. He's not on our radar." Actually, he was on the radar somewhere, but it wasn't passed on to the security service or the counter-terrorist police. And I think that needs to change in the case of MPs arranging to speak to constituents. There are other things too we can talk about, but that is the big thing.